Hey guys, it's Omer from MMOs.com, and I'll do another quick weekly news recap of all major MMO news and announcements for the week ending May 8th, 2016. A quick announcement before we begin: podcast and Sunday Funday start at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. EST from now on, so no more getting up super early to watch. This is episode number 42 of the recap, and the first bit of news this week is from Tryon Worlds regarding Atlas Reactor. And it looks like Atlas Reactor made the switch from free-to-play to buy-to-play, with the game costing $29.99 for the base tier, but at launch it'll be discounted to $19.99. The base tier includes all freelancers, which are basically the characters in the game, as well as all freelancers that will ever launch, so you'll always have all the characters available for you for free after you buy. All previous buyers will retain access to the game, so even if you bought in at the $10 Founders Pack tier, you still have the game. Now normally I'm the biggest cheerleader for free to play, but this switch makes some sense, as Atlas Reactor is a niche game, so it doesn't have broad appeal like some other titles, so it won't appeal to everyone and may not have the critical mass to succeed as free to play. Next up, some news from Blizzard regarding Overwatch and some news about Blizzard's financials. First of all, Overwatch beta has been extended a day or so, and it now ends on May 10th at 10 a.m. Pacific, which is great because I've been pretty addicted to Overwatch since the open beta began. In fact, almost everyone I know has been addicted. In related news, Blizzard released their financial results last week, and as expected, Blizzard is making the big bucks. The company is worth about $28 billion after releasing their earnings, and they published some interesting data as well. Hearthstone revenues are up 20% year over year, and millions of people have already started playing the Overwatch beta. They also reported that Blizzard's monthly active users is at 26 million, which is up a whopping 23% over the last year. So despite Blizzard's huge size, they are still growing. Up next, Riders of Icarus from Nexon is starting its open beta on July 6th, with Founders Packs available now. It looks like this whole Founders Packs thing thoroughly caught on, as everyone is doing it now, including Nexon. Founders Packs range from $25 all the way up to $90 and grant access to closed beta, and the 7-day head start program for the open beta. But yeah, open beta starts for everyone on July 6th, a week earlier if you bought the Founders Pack. Expect the first look for the game at launch. And by launch, I mean open beta. Next up, Chronicles of Elyria launched a wildly successful Kickstarter campaign this week, raising over $600,000 so far with 25 days or so to go. You guys know how I feel about Kickstarter, but given the size and breadth of this campaign, it's worth mentioning. Conceptually, Chronicles of Elyria sounds awesome, but I'm skeptical about the ability to deliver. If they deliver though, God bless, I think the game is going to be amazing, but because of my skepticism, I'll watch from a distance. I think we'll talk quite a bit more about this in tomorrow's podcast, so check it out. Moving right along, we have some news from Sudden Attack 2. The game will be published by Nexon Japan in Japan. It ended its Korea-only closed beta about 2 weeks ago and will be launching there later in the summer. Oh man, these chicks are definitely dressed up to battle, right guys? Those are clearly tactical outfits they're wearing, guys, clearly. But yeah, no word on when the Japanese version will be launching, but it looks like the game is definitely making progress. I suspect the Western release is still at least 9 months to a year away, as there's been zero information about a Western release just yet, so I am just speculating. And despite Sudden Attack's rather obscurity in the West, it's still a pretty popular game in Asia, which is why they're making Sudden Attack 2. Next up, Gearbox's MOBA/cooperative shooter Battleborn is officially launched. It can be purchased through Steam for $60 or $75 for the digital edition. They also launched Battleborn Tap at the same time as well. Tap is the mobile version of the game, completely different game, but it is free to play. Whereas, of course, the PC version does cost money. We did do a Sunday Funday video for the game, and it is different, and it actually gets better as you play. And as of this video, there are about 9,000 concurrent players online at once, which is definitely a good sign. It's definitely off to a strong start, and we'll see how it does as it progresses. Up next, we have yet another old game relaunching on Steam. Well, not relaunching, but moving to Steam. It's called Ryzom, and it's actually over 12 years old. The game is free to play, but you do have some restrictions on free-to-play accounts, unfortunately. But if you want to play the game now, it's on Steam, so feel free to check it out. As of this video, there's about 250 players online at once, which is definitely not bad. Up next, yet another old MMORPG is coming to Steam, early access. This time it's Link Realm. So it is a bit weird to call it early access because the game's been around in beta testing since 2004, making it over 12 years old. It's an Ultima Online inspired sandbox MMORPG, and it's going to cost $20 on Steam. It's a game that won't appeal to a lot of new players, but it does have a core user base, so they can play it on Steam now if they want to. Up next, and clearly the most important news of the week, Tera is introducing a whole bunch of Hellokitty items to the game. In fact, they've already introduced them, and this week they actually added quite a bit more. So yes, there's a Hellokitty/Tera crossover. And I'm not gonna lie, a lot of this stuff does look really cute. The final wave of Hellokitty items will be added to Tera, and they'll remain in the store until May 19th, at which point they'll be gone forever. So if you want some Hellokitty goodies, the time to get them is now. Move right along. Daybreak Games added a new game mode, Skirmishes, to H1Z1 King of the Kill. So it's basically similar to Hearthstone's Tavern Brawl, where they introduced new rules to the game to keep things fresh and exciting. So the first skirmish will be pistols, bows, and fist brawls only, and of course they'll be mixing it up every few weeks or so to keep things interesting. Up next, BioWare and EA are on the ball with Star Wars: The Old Republic, Knights of the Fallen Empire Chapter 13, Profit and Plunder is officially out now, and it's of course the 13th installment of these latest episodic updates. It of course adds a bunch of new story elements to the game, as well as some other features. But keep in mind, these updates are only for paying members. Free-to-play users don't get access to any of these episodic contents. So I'd say Star Wars: The Old Republic has a unique blend of free-to-play and pay-to-play content. Series users do have to end up paying later on though. Next up, Albion Online enters Beta 2 this summer with a daring update later this month. So Albion Online is making progress towards release. It was originally meant to release quite a while ago, and they pushed it back, and they transitioned from free-to-play to buy-to-play. And the beta was pushed back to this summer, and it looks like they are going to meet that deadline, or at least they say so right now. The game will add 5 new biomes to the game: forest, highlands, mountains, steppes, and swamp, with the swamp biome being the first to be completed. But yeah, the point of this update is that they are making progress towards release, which is always nice. The next and last bit of news this week is that Final Fantasy XI is giving players 10 free days of game time to celebrate its anniversary. So between May 13th to May 23rd, it is entirely free to play with no strings attached. And everyday players play during these 10 days, they'll have a chance to win a crab mount. Yes, crab mount, you heard that correctly. And Final Fantasy XI is actually, I would say, Square Enix's most profitable game ever, only because it's been running so long. As it originally launched back in May 16th of 2002, making it over 14 years old, or rather almost 14 years old. I'm really good at math sometimes. Anyway guys, that's it for MMO News this week. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the podcast. And remember guys, it starts at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Later guys.